Hi, my name is Varun Hegde. I'm the founder of Soul Traveling, a company which is trying to change how tourism and travel is done in Goa. By education, I am an engineer, electronics and telecommunication engineer. I have worked for almost 4 years in Bangalore and in Germany. So I have been, have that work experience as well. Education wise, हांवें 12वी सायन्स आनी 11वी 12वी सायन्सान केलें. ताच्या पयलीं स्कुलींग म्हजें मडगांवां जालें मैलान उतरन. And then last 6 years we have been a part of Soul Traveling, which is today the leading experiential travel company in India, and it has around 25 people who are a part of this team, and working with different corporates, working with different government organizations, and trying to change travel with the tourism board as well. Hi, so भुरगेपणान खूब आसता न्ही, तुमकां खबर आसतलें भुरगेपणान when we are kids, it is so basically it is endless what you want to do. You want to be an astronaut, you want to be the F1 racer, थोड्यांक क्रिकेटर जावपाचें आसता, you want to be the next Virat Kohli, or तेन्ना आमचो सचिन तेंडुलकर आशिल्लो, but you want to be the next big star, you want to really achieve things, right? So तशेंच म्हजें आशिल्लें. I used to play a lot, I used to play cricket, football, so it was always like to be a sports person for sure. At the same time, there was some sort of things about being an astronaut or something to do with aeronautical science, something to do with sports, sports cars, racing. It was all that hype ki sagre ashe karpak jay म्हणून. So I was no different from other kids also who have this kind of things and dreams and achievements. So and this I think lasted until around 8th, 9th, 10th standard ki we really need to do, because we watch a lot of things. I mean TV char paita, we listen to a lot of people, we see movies. I think how college in Astana ye Jawani and Diwani release challo. So it was always like traveling, packing that bags and going around, shooting for Fox Traveler probably and Net Geo. So that was also another dream ki you need to do this. So this I think these were many different aspirations at that time. Surprisingly, what I didn't want to do is being a doctor. My parents are doctors, my full family is doctors actually, so maybe because of that or what, I don't know, but ते एक मजें नाशिल्लें करपाचें. But apart from this, also being an engineer, because that was a very interesting, cool profession at that point of time, so that was also something I wanted to do. So अशे aspirations खूब आशिल्ले, it was just endless and it used to change every day. Every day you wanted to be something different, something new. And I think that is a very interesting thing when we in our childhood, where we can see a scope of endless things, we can do endless things, okay, and magir ami narrow down karta. When we grow up, then we narrow down into certain things, and from there. So parent support has been there since childhood. My parents, I've been lucky enough to have parents who understood. So my father is a psychiatrist, my mother is a general physician, my sister is also a psychiatrist, so a lot of doctors in the family. पयलींच्यान तें आशिल्लें की you can do what you want, you try to explore. So my father also used to have connect me with different kind of people, ki try to learn something from him, try to learn something from her, so that I also understood a bit about different careers and professions which are there. College, after that, a lot of things are also based on the company, the friends that you have. A lot of times the decisions are ki okay, माझे friends सांगा होता तो आपल्याकूय वचपाक जाय. So this definitely happens a lot of times. And I'm not saying it is good or bad, but this is a part of how students take decision, unless they know. And I'm not saying, what I'm not saying is I knew I wanted to do this. I say that only a few people know what they want to do in life. And I think that journey is a little boring. The best way is finding your way through. Lucky ones have find their way through all this thing. Kenna आज नवे केले, kenna different केले. कोणाकडल्यान घेतलं केन्ना चेंज केलें प्रोफेशन. दॅट इज द फन. दॅट्स वॉट आय फायंड व्हेरी इंटरेस्टिंग. सो नोईंग एवरीथिंग एट द एंड की ना म्हाका अशेंच करपाक जाय, आय फायंड दॅट व्हेरी बोरींग. सो आय वॉज वन ऑफ द पीपल हू डिडंट नो एक्झॅक्टली वॉट आय वॉन्टेड टू डू इन लायफ. ओके, बट एक आशिल्लें की मे बी स्वताचें कितें करपाक जाय, समथींग व्हेरी इंटरेस्टिंग, बिल्ड समथींग. सो माय होल passion comes from creating something out of nothing. There was nothing in tourism or experiential tourism that was there. Putting that in place and changing the whole industry was something that really drove me. So coming back to my parents, they have been supportive since the beginning. Wherever, so my mother is like, तुका जाय तशें कर. Finally, तुका जर engineering करपाक जाय, तुका CA जावपाक जाय, तुका commerce करपाक जाय, तुका arts करपाक जाय, it's your choice. Also, when I came back, even then when I quit my job, when I was working in Germany, it was like a good job, a good settled career which was there. That time also my mother supported me a lot. She was like, see, you really want to do it, you can go ahead and do it, we'll support you with whatever is needed. My father was a little skeptical earlier की इतले सगळे सोडून झिरोतल्यान स्टार्ट करता परत म्हणून, but he was also on board after a point of time, and that really helped me to try to build this, because that becomes very important. And I think that pressure was not there की अशेंच करपाक जाय, and I feel that should not happen की, because finally you cannot have only good engineers or good doctors in the society. You need good people everywhere, and there is so much scope. Earlier, I think when I was still in college, there was this notion or school ki engineer, doctor bare, but today I can see it opening up to a vast variety of professions, and more people are getting chance to shine in what they like. And the thing is, you do it a lot of, I mean, you spend a lot of time. Today we work for 9-10 hours a day. If you don't like doing that, I don't see the whole fun of doing it at all, right? So you need to really work on something, at least have a job which you like. That I think should be the baseline. So what I feel, what works in today's world, what I've seen, because so I'll tell you, in the last 1 year itself, we have interviewed around 400 people, okay, for the roles in our company. What I see is mainly the attitude really matters in any profession that you do. Finally, if you have a good attitude of learning, trying to push yourself, and trying to really, go out of your comfort zone such time, and try to learn, you can really succeed in a lot of roles. In travel industry, there are various roles, okay. The most common ones are, one is in the hotel industry, where you have something like the front office, you have back office stuff, then you have something in housekeeping, and then people grow into different roles as sales managers and stuff, and finally the GM, the general manager in hotels. This is a very common role that we have in Goa. A lot of people choose it. Also, it's to do with a lot of glamour associated with hotels. You're you're working in Taj, or you're working in say St. Regis. That's has a glamour role thing associated, but you need to be ready to work hard in that. There are times where you have to work for 10-12 hours a day, okay, because of the pressure that comes in. Other roles in travel industry which is very popular is in the airlines that we have. So ground staff, crew, cabin crew and all. This is also a very popular role in travel industry today, okay. More, if I move to a niche section of experiential tours and travels that we do, okay, there we have different roles in sense of ambassadors or storytellers or tour conductors, people who actually lead and take people onto field and conduct these experiences. What you need to have is a liking for knowledge about Goa as well, a knack for meeting people, and having a skill of public speaking. So that is also very important, because how you communicate matters. Even if your knowledge is not perfect, right? I mean, you have a knowledge of certain things, you can always work on it. But how you receive people, how you make people feel, that becomes very critical in our specific industry. Secondly, there are roles in our team itself. We have roles in, there's a role that we have in team leads and stuff, which are more to do with planning. Say there is a group of 10 people coming or 20 people coming tomorrow. There needs to be some back-end planning which needs to be done specifically for those groups. So there are roles which are into that planning. We have roles particularly in training about this and curation. So curation is a new role that we have defined, where if you want to create something new, like a new trail or tour that comes, we have a team which is only working towards that, or maintaining the existing trail. So you have to talk to a lot of hosts. We have a lot of local hosts. For example, आम्ही चोडना करता तेन्ना कोणाच्या घरा वता, तो हॅपी आसपाक जाय, तो हॅपी ऑन अ रेग्युलर बेसीस आसपाक जाय. सो ताजे कडेन कशें कोऑर्डिनेट करपाचें, सो तो एक रोल आसा. दिस कम्स इन ऑपरेशन्स फॉर अस. आमची सेल्स टीम आसा विच इज टॉकिंग टू द गेस्ट हू आर डुईंग द फ्रंट एंड टूअर्स. इट मोर ऑफ we get calls, we get messages, we get stuff on Instagram. तेन्ना तांचे कडेन कशें उलोवप. एंड आमचो मेन हें आसा की वी डोंट वॉन्ट टू डू सेल्स इन द ट्रेडिशनल फॉर्म. वी ट्राय टू बी देयर फ्रेंड्स इन गोवा. सो इमॅजीन तुमकां खंय वचपाक जाय, से उत्तराखंड, you have a friend there who can tell you अशें करप, अशें करप, अशें करप. That's what we do in sales. We also have a marketing team which is working towards creating content about Goa. So right from social media marketing to something around content to something around SEO, which is technical. So तातून एक आसा, आनी आमचे HR आनी accounts बाकीचे आसा. So these are the, I mean, even in a small company like ours, we have variety of roles. So you can imagine the sense that you have in industry itself. We also have a lot of hosts, like we work with around 100 hosts that we work with today, right from कुळागर कोणाचें आसा, कोणाचें घर आसा, कोण कितें हें करता, say you cook something nice, or say you have a boat which can do a nice boat ride in the mangroves. अशें आमचे कडेन 100 सुमार hosts आसा, and that is also becoming very lucrative for people because you're being a part of something really good where you're changing how tourism is done in Goa, and at the same time you have that kind of passion. You can make your passion as your profession. So that is helping a lot of hosts who are there. For example, we used to go to a place in Chandor for snacks. तिचे घरूच आशिल्लें आनी गार्डनान ती स्नॅक्स दिताली. Today she has a cafe of her own. Now people are coming and stuff like that. So people are growing in that way. We used to do a Kuragar visit in Shorao. Today he has created so many experiences that people visit it. We only get so many people there with influencers, right from Jim Sarba Illothoy and all these people. Yesterday I think there's a celebrity chef called Parth Bajaj whom we hosted there. So this is what is happening across time. We also had the chance of hosting Pankaj Tripathi in Goa. That was also very interesting. Also Surya, superstar. So it's been a really fun journey for us as well. So what I've realized भायल्यांतल्यान खूब fancy दिसता सगळें. Even our roles look very fancy. You need to understand whether you'll enjoy doing it for a long time. कित्याक थोडी अशी कामां आसता which might not be so much fun, but it's a part of the bigger role. So what I would say is understand this kind of careers not by just looking at a talk or just looking at people, but try to understand a day in the lives of these people. For example, तुमकां टीचर जावपाक जाय न्ही, maybe spend one day with a teacher that you know. How does that whole day look like for that teacher? Say a software professional. Try to spend a day in that person's life rather than just to एक वर पहिले न्ही or the वर पहिले or someone talks to you. That will look very nice, very interesting because that person might communicate the most interesting part of their roles. But if you spend a day in their lives, you will know how your life will look like once you take those roles up. Of course, there will be certain changes, but you'll have a basic idea. So तशें जर पळोवपाक मेळटा तुमकां की तुमचो कोणूय वळखीचो आसा, relatives only, who are doing different professions, talk to them and try to spend some time with them to understand their roles. कित्याक तुमकां जर तो कळ्ळो न्ही, then you'll be able to say की आपल्याक हें आवडटा, आपल्याक हें आवडना. Again, don't go 100. I'm sure that 100% कोणाकूच जायना की अशें कळटा की ना आपल्याक हेंच करपाक जाय लायफान. Probably 1 or 2 in a million. But if you can make out your career slowly, so basically when you have a path 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, you'll have to mold certain things. You'll have to pivot a little bit. हांगा थोडे घाले, हांगा थोडे केले. And if you have the right attitude, you can really define your career in a very nice way. Be open to learning. कित्याक again तुमकां जाय तशेंच जावचें ना. That is very clear. की you have a thing की ना आपूण अशेंच करतलो म्हणून or अशेंच करतलें म्हणून. It might not happen. So be open to have certain changes, and trust me, this is what will define the future in your career. When you experience these things at a younger age, you can really build your career in a very, very strong way. And again, the right attitude will really take you in a long way. Or be open to learning. Don't shy away from making mistakes. So I really like the statements. There was one statement that I was just reading in a book. So that person says ki, so he says, ask for forgiveness, not permission. पयलीं वचून मिस्टेक करात, मागीर सॉरी म्हणत जाय जाल्यार, बट डोंट वेट की ना आपल्याक अशेंच जातलें अशेंच करतलें. गो अहेड एंड ट्राय टू टेक ऑन दीस चॅलेंजीस फ्रॉम द बिगिनींग. देन वील सी वॉट हॅपन्स. मागीर तुमकां जर सॉरी म्हणचें पडलें इट्स ओके, बट डोंट शाय अवे फ्रॉम मेकिंग मिस्टेक्स. या